We have reports that parents of students in Lagos model colleges are protesting a 200% hike in boarding fees. They're accusing the Lagos State Ministry of Education of corruption and insensitivity. The fees increase from 35,000 naira to 100,000 naira per term has led to widespread frustration. The Parents Forum of Lagos Model Colleges has threatened to keep their children at home until the hike is reversed. In a letter dated 14 September entitled Increment in Fees, the forum expressed their outrage, stating, part of the letter states that in the last 24 hours we have witnessed a disdain, anguish and frustration at the mindless and provocative 200% increase in boarding fees for our children imposed by the corrupt officers of the Lagos State Ministry of Education. The letter further criticizes the massive increase in the cost to feed the students, stating that principals would now spend 100 million naira per term to feed 1,000 students. And this is a tax, according to them, that was previously carried out for less than 35 million naira. Now, the forum urged parents to keep their children at home starting on Sunday, that's the 15th of September, until the decision is fully reversed. We have been following the story up right from when the announcement was made, and now this is the reaction from the parents, and they have made the analysis. In fact, they've broken it down for us, down to how much it would amount to if 1,000 students get to pay that money, and down to what it used to be, down to how much the school used to feed the kids with before now. But I'd like to bring Ambassador in on this one. On this one, okay, let's bring Charles Ideho on this one first off. Charles, if you're with us, would like to know what you think about this particular story.
But as for corruption, I don't want to drive on that lane. But as for insensitivity, yes, I mean, it looks more like it. The government is very sensitive. Look at a country that is grappling with housing, country that is grappling with insufficiency, a country that is grappling with all kinds of impoverishment. So yeah, this is not the time at all. It's an opportune time for government to begin to even help increase in fees, not talk about implementing for, because a parent being from left, right, and middle because the shrinking economic shrink, national economy and all that. So I think Lagos government can afford it to even still leave it as a high process. I mean, when you look at the FDRO that is state boast of more activity can afford it, I really know why it's have to import time for them to begin to even talk about the increase in body fee. I spoke on that before. I think maybe he and I, I don't know, maybe we all grew up in the 80s and all that. When I look at the like 18, or you'll be shocked that in the 80s I paid tax for both a whole 30 naira. I'm not talking about 300,000 naira or 3,000. I'm talking about 30 naira in the 80s. A government that wishes to educate its citizenry will not talk about all this, increase in this, increase in that. They're talking about increase in petroleum. There's a problem with, we have to talk about how to move around and all that, about increase in electricity. We're not talking about increase in education. When countries actually are even taking the fees off of payment in education so that they can educate its citizenry. A nation that educates its citizenry is a nation that will grow. But when you look at all of them who are there today, someone who is the government go today and he said, they all attended schools that were built by Dangote and built by Awolowo, and most of them were educated free of charge. So they enjoyed the education. And now they have written to the people of governance. They do not want people come after them to have any form of education about it, trying to get them out. Because they can afford it. Almost all of them, their children are not here. So they can afford to pay foreign exchange to send their children abroad, and then also come back to Nigeria and also that they are meant for everything. So it's become an elite club, of society, if you know what I mean. So for me, I think it's very, very insensitive, and I support the president and the government to have to go about reversing the trend to reverse to the old rates
fees.
and old speeds, and what I call it, for the post-tourism. Have it enjoy it.
All right, thank you so much, Charles, for that one, your thoughts on that. But then let's get your thought, Ambassador.
Well, I want to first of all thank the Association of the Students, the parents rather, trying to speak for their children so that they can continue with their education. I think it's a good protection for their children coming out in unity to speak and advocate for what will help the future of their children. I would say that Lagos State government is not wrong in increasing fees because there is already inflation in prices. And I equally know that the children are not in a charity organization. They are not orphans in that school. So in other words, they've been paying fees. They said the last one was 35,000, and we all know that the economy has changed. The rice, the food they will feed them at the boarding school or the boarding houses or hostels will not be given to them at the old price. So certainly there is inflation. So it's good we understand that the government did not wake up. We already know that there are high increment in every commodity right now. So for anybody to pretend that we do not know, I don't think it's correct. We are aware. But I think what anybody should be advocating right now is just like my brother in Lagos have said. I feel it's time to still subsidize the education for students who are in public school in Lagos State. Lagos State is one of the states I cherish so much because I've always been on the leading burner of governance. And if Lagos State breathes or take any initiative, I can tell you that every other state in this federation will key in. So because Lagos is always seen as a role model in terms of governance. Now, I would like to appeal to the executive governor of Lagos State, who has been a man of conscience, and he's an educated fellow. 100 million naira, if it's what it would take, I don't know whether it's for the entire boarding school owned by government in Lagos State or for one particular school. That's what I beg to understand. But if it is for the entire government school in Lagos State for the 3 months of one term, I don't think Lagos State government is going to struggle in taking care of that responsibility, knowing the fact that we have parents whose salary has not been increased. We have parents who are struggling with their petty businesses. And of course, the challenges of the time is not making them to also make much profit.
Okay.
So I think if that 100 million naira is for the entire public school in Lagos State, for their boarding students, I want to appeal that the Lagos State government should take it as a responsibility for now.
Let's bring Charles on again concerning that part, because I was going to bring up that question when he talked about the fact that he feels the government's been insensitive to actually have gone on with this fees increase. You stated that you don't think it is something that we should not be aware of, and you don't think the government is wrong in your words to have increased the fees, even though at the end you still plead that subsidy, some form of subsidy should come in. But then with the inflation that we're experiencing in Nigeria, when you talk about the inflation, hike in the prices of goods and services, we're not even looking at 100% hike. We're looking at things that would buy at a particular amount and now will buy it like 500% more. But let's get your thought, Charles. Considering this inflation that has been stated by Ambassador, do you also think that the Lagos State government is being insensitive to have increased the fees?
Yes, I suppose after the question, I think public schools in Lagos. Lagos State public schools are divided into two. You have the day school and boarding school. The boarding school are called model schools, okay, model schools where you have students going to school, and most of them being in boarding house and a few people school. There are schools that have boarding facilities, and then you have those ones with boarding facilities. Them, the model school, they used to be owned by the missionary, called the missionary. I think I want two popular model schools in first met model school and then the one in the African called African school or something that can't take back with the So two of them are standing very popular, but I don't know if it's allocated as we speak. So they divided into two, the day school and the model school and boarding school. So it's not the entire public schools we are talking about. It's the model school where they are. I don't know how many they are. I could do research from them before we come there. Having said, what was said about which one, the trend, I agree with you, but again, I will also have some feedback. Just during the European days, where 5 states are 13, they have policy of trade, of which I benefited from for years. I just entered school when in 10 they brought in. It was a Stalin event at that time. I became the governor. I benefited from it. I did single from class 1 to class. Biros, rulers, books, the software was but and then again uniform we were by ourselves for all others were giving free of charge for 5 years until the end of Buhari came and they swept all the politicians away at that time. So how did they get government to pay for all the public schools in those days? All. There was nothing like private school. There was something like private schools at that time. All the public schools everywhere in Bendel State, as large as Bendel State is to make South Two State and the Edo and Delta, all the students everybody had school fees plugged in that government. How did it cost? There was also a place at that time. See, it is the great policy of government, no matter how when it's based on those places, government takes a policy to educate its citizens in free. Because they want in so it is from this citizen to educating that you get doctor, medical doctor, get station, you work together. Get the beginning you now subject it. So is technically be subjected to purpose. And that government is sensitive. I understand the institution. I understand that things are more expensive. But what I'm saying is that those of them who are our fair, how did they go to white school?
Charles, you'd agree that Nigeria's economy is different. You'd agree that Nigeria's economy is different from what it used to be back then. Do you think that should have caused any change?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, it may not be placed on, it may not, but as at that time, the government also had its fair share of its own peculiar challenges, but they didn't look at those challenges before government decided to go to UPN 5 states benefit. Look at them and they were they implemented the for 10 years. What was going on in the establishment of the at that time, they knew because the enrollment of children skyrocketed in those 5 states. So they said, well, the universities that were those states were owned by the church, and children are set up 10. So how can they, this on people there and the children that are getting in the 5 years after into those public schools that are the public schools and they said to the 10 what they don't under UPN, they decided to establish private school upon which you have control. That's why you have the Ambosali University today, what used to be University. You have the Onabado University that used to be Ogun State. You have this classroom. Then you have about 4 of them that you have. They have the Ogun State University. All of them, they all came up with those universities so that they can have those students to have education at their
You know, Charles. All right.
The public universities, Unibank, and all that. That's exactly what government do in terms of implementation of policies and no, initiate policy and implementation.
All right, thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate your side of this analysis. But then, Ambassador, before we move on to the next story, I'd like to ask you.
Well, the truth about most of these things is, one, I feel that that's where the Parent-Teacher Association needs to come in.
But then, the question I was going to ask you is, how do you think this will get to affect or impact? Remember that we have a lot of children out of school in Nigeria. And this is actually a time when a lot of children, or parents are taking their kids out of school. This is a time when a lot of children are losing interest in education because they feel like, in their words, school is scam. So there are a lot of people who are no longer going to school, unlike what it used to be back then, when it seemed like education was the only way out. That was the ideology that our parents passed on to us. But these days, a lot of children are not going to school on their own will, and then some parents not being able to afford it. So with this increase, how do you think this will get to affect the educational system generally in Nigeria, or let's even say in Lagos State?
The truth about it, as government said to you, that there is so much benefit from the education. You know, if there is economic benefits, the kind of government we have most of these days are just interested in revenue, how much is going to be generated, not what they can do for her citizens. So I feel that the issue of the increment is something that could be discussed upon. Why you ask the state government, rather, to see how they can reduce the fees and then come in. But for anybody to say, no, that's not correct, because we must be realistic. I feel that a few suggestions. The Parents-Teachers Association should meet. Yes, and then the parents in most of the institutions or schools do come in when there are needs. I feel that the PTA, they used to have resources. They can say, okay, as any parents that can provide a bag of rice, this one, as PTA, Parents Teachers Association, we're going to provide 20 bags of rice.
Something you feel, something we're seeing that the government has not done in that regard. You're asking parents who, like you said earlier, school, their salaries have not been increased. You're asking them to come together and do that.
No. You see,
then they still pay the fees, because they are the ones who pay the fees.
No. When we say reduce the fees, the school authority is saying we can't feed your children again with 35,000. Are you getting
35 million.
35 million. So even if they are at home, they will still feed. So what we are trying to say is, okay, Parents Teachers Association, government will understand the sensitivity of this situation. We are going to support as association.
After paying the 100, the parents.
No. I'm not saying.
But this association are also made up of the parents, the same parents who paid the 100,000 naira, right?
No, that's what
I'm saying. Is the association made up of the parents or not?
Yes, now.
So you're saying the parents, after paying 100,000, which they are complaining
they are saying the 100,000 is high. The school authority is saying we need this money to feed and take care of your children. I'm saying now that I've advocated that there should be reduction. The government should intervene, right? But there should also be an intentional, commitment from the parents to say, okay, please, school authority, we understand your demand, not as if they want to be criminal. We are going to support with 2 cartons of Indomie. We are going to support with, but we are asking that the school fees should be reduced. And then we are also pleading with Lagos State government and philanthropists in Lagos State or wherever, in any way they can come in, because I don't think that the school authority just want to punish the parents. It's the reality.
Let's move on.